Hello, chat. Hello. I was sitting there for like a minute trying to read what those word letters are on the side of that meat grinder or meat tenderizer on his wrist. And I think it says Institute. Wasn't sure. I thought it might be Latin. But yeah, I'm pretty confident. Institute. So, how you doing? Did you guys have a good one? What's up, Jim? Hope you had a good day, my man. Happy New Year. Well, it's off to a promising start with everyone enjoying the winter heat wave. God, what a weird first we get the cold snap and now everyone's like getting like near springtime weather in the beginning of January. What a world. Oh well. I'm sure it'll get cold again. But yeah, glad to have you all back, seeing all the familiar faces here tonight. Yeah, we're gonna be playing more Evil West. I probably won't be streaming tomorrow though, just for anyone who's like got their sights set on a third stream in a row. Because I will be focusing on video editing tomorrow. Gotta get all those primary edits done. There's a rumor saying about Capcom maybe working on Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil Code Veronica, and Resident Evil 4 is out. Also, my girlfriend maybe comes with us to Japan, but I still need to talk to Kate and Che. Like I said, did you like try contacting her over Discord? Because that's the easiest way, because I have no idea when she's streaming next. Also, where did you hear this rumor about Capcom working on Resident Evil 1 and Code Veronica? I mean, 1 I could see them working on, but Code Veronica? That one I'm highly suspicious of. I mean, we need a second remake of Code Veronica. I mean, Resident Evil 1, don't we? They never did make it into a third-person game properly. But, Why is it always evil? Can never be mildly displeased because video games need a proper villain. You know, chat, I just realized something. This main character looks a little bit like my older brother. If he were, like, aged up 10 years at the time of his death. He's got that same look. Me and I should say my older brother was only my half-brother. We actually looked nothing alike. You would not even guess we were brothers back then. But he does remind me of him. First-person VR, the mansion incident would make me want to play VR for the first time. Well, what about Half-Life Alyx? Does that make you want to play VR? Because it was pretty good. Moo stream, yeah, but it's actually kind of shocking that I never thought of my brother being a main character in a video game. But there he is. I should like get a picture of him just to show you to prove it, because no one will believe me, because this guy looks nothing like me, and you would think, oh, what, your brother? Your stomach hurts, so you'll be here? Well, I'm not sure if I can help you with that, but I will do nothing, actually. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm sorry. There's literally nothing I can do about a stomachache. So let me get these call-outs. Try to talk to Kate in private, but she's really busy. Well, yeah, I can imagine so. But I did mention it to her, so she doesn't know that you've talked about it, so maybe try again. Be specific about what you want to talk about. In like a private DM or something. What do you think of Jeff Keighley? Oh, didn't you ask that in my Ask Dartigan section? I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I mean, I feel like I'm fine with him. I like making jokes about his man crush on Kojima, but other than that, he's a perfectly friendly seeming dude. He clearly loves video games and loves the industry. He's a little cheesy, but that's fine too. He's made some good documentaries. That's actually what he started as, doing like video game documentaries. All that's considered, I'm positive on the guy. I still find his award show to be incredibly cringy, and I don't really watch it for trailers, but hey. What are you gonna do? Hey, Raven, what's going on? I will anticipate you ignoring me once again, but best of all to Jim. Why would Jim ignore you? Jim, are you ignoring Raven? What hasn't been done in a Western game at this point? We haven't had an aliens and cowboy game yet, have we? They mainly focus on like zombies and evil stuff and like magic. Not too many like cowboys versus aliens, though there was a movie on that. Hey, Tom Cruise? I mean, sure, why not? You were in the bathroom? That's no excuse. You got a phone. No, everyone loves to know that they were texting them while you're sitting on the toilet. You know what? It's like, you know what? He's a normal person after all. We haven't had a dating cowboy sim? We haven't had a dating... Well, there's plenty of those in book form. Your mom would probably have quite a few of them in the back of her closet. Or maybe she's open with, like, yeah, those are on the, like, the library. Right in the book stand. For some reason, horny boomer women really love the idea of being swept off their feet by a masculine cowboy. Never understood it myself. You know, they all want that rugged cowboy with, you know, the barrel, you know, with a very, you know, modern, you know, physique somehow. How about a Western game that has actual revolvers in it? Those exist though, right? They were called Red Dead Redemption 2. Also, GMC gifted a sub to Raven. Thank you, GMC. Dating a cowboy has its perks, or actually does. I don't know. Are there any real cowboys anymore? I feel like they're just... That's not a thing. I don't even know what constitutes a real cowboy. I mean, obviously the hat and the firearm at the side, but other than that, I mean, originally the term cowboy was just for like a farmhand or something, wasn't it? And then for some reason it got appropriated to like anyone who's like in Western fiction with a gun. There are still real ranch hands, yeah, but they don't. A ranch hand is just like a worker. Like, yeah, I'm in the agriculture business. You can call me a cowboy. I don't think that's quite the same thing. Vaquero translates cowman. For some reason, when you say cowman, it doesn't fit. It's like, oh, is that like an unknown Marvel superhero that I wasn't aware of? Fresh, did you change the color of your like Twitch name to like dark purple? Because it's weirding me out. I'm used to you being in blue. I mean, it's your deal to change your Twitch name, but wow, it's kind of a weird thing. It's like, wow, it's like someone getting a new haircut that you're like, that you don't want to say anything about. Like, oh, did he really do that? It's royal purple, yeah. Yeah, it's like that. It's like the guy who shaves and he's always had a beard, and you see him for the first time, like, can you put it back? Oh well, I'll learn to live with it. Gray to me, yeah. It's purple to me. Maybe, you know what? Have any of you ever had that paranoid thought? I think everyone has actually wondered themselves, or if like the colors you see are the same colors everyone else sees. Or if it's like individual. We just all like have the same name for it and it just gets, yeah. I've definitely seen people discuss that before. One of those like weird thoughts you have, like, I wonder if everyone else's blue is the same as my blue. Deep thoughts by Dartigan, I know. I have visual snow, so definitely not visual snow. Is that like the floaters in your eyes? Because everyone's got those. Not that one? You never had that one? Sign as determined? Yes, we all do, mostly. There are, yeah, mostly I'm pretty sure we do, but there are some people who do see extra colors, and some people have like synesthesia. So they see colors that aren't even there. Those like sounds will even like create color patterns in their vision. You like cowboys going against aliens? I mean, I feel like they would lose. So you have to like write it properly so they don't get completely just like, yep, zap, dead. You mix paint for a living, so no. Like on an industrial scale? Or do you, I like to think of you actually just being like the assistant to some kind of like aging like painting master. So you're like there with his like pastel color, like mixing the paint from his board. Here you go, sir. I mean, those guys existed, right? Well, Dart, how's New Year's for you? Same as last year so far. Only I have nothing, you know, depressing to report for so far. Other than it's kind of warm out. The pixelation effect over your vision, and mine has a lot of negative... Wow, you see pixels? Because I've never heard of that before. So everything looks like a Super NES game to you, is what you're telling me. Or maybe like a PlayStation 1 game. It's not too far from the truth, really. It's like you work for like an artist. And I was thinking when you said mixed paint, you're like the guy at Walmart who just works in the painting aisle and like, you know, mixes it up. Or somewhere else. Maybe at like the actual factory where they make it. How's it going? Pretty good, Aaron. How you going? I was explaining earlier, chat, how this main character actually resembles my older brother. And mainly because me and my older brother, he was only my half-brother. So he had dark black hair. And he was also like 6'5". He was a big guy. Very tall. But yeah, we look nothing alike. And this guy looks like him, but only like 10 years older. Like a TV. I had a friend in high school who once came to school in a bumblebee yellow shirt, bright brown pants, and when he asked him what he was doing, he said, "What? It's gray and black." Stop. He might be colorblind. Maybe you're like yeah. Maybe you should like, hey. Usually like colorblind people, it's like red and green though, right? Work at a Home Depot in the paint department, and one of the co-workers has been mixing paint in that store for 20 plus years. Hey, not a bad thing. Helping people beautify their homes. He refused to believe us until the teachers pointed out. He then shouted, "Oh my god, I'm colorblind." Ever since then, I have oh, he was colorblind. Yeah, learning about colorblind when you're a kid is like color blindness. For the first time, like, wait, what? People don't see colors? I used to think people like who are colorblind were like dogs, or they don't see any color whatsoever. Not just like selective colors. How's the game? You know, this game is actually not too bad. I reserve judgment till like the end of the game, but for right now, I'm actually like, you know what? Solid. I got no real major complaints, other than like, maybe the controls are a little convoluted on keyboard at the very least. Speaking of keyboards, I will probably end up having to get a new keyboard this year. This one I think is on its last legs. Like my space key ain't working as well. I think it's just time for an upgrade. When shall we expect your Callisto video? Well, tomorrow I'm going to be probably not streaming, just so I can focus on finishing up the principal editing. I don't want to promise it the day after that, because there's still like the adding subtitles to it and also getting the intro from Rune. So I'm going to say within 2 days, you'll probably get the video. G-Man hates this game. Someone mentioned that last night, but you know what? I have to disagree with the G-Man. So far, I mean, there's some difficulty spikes in the game, but other than that, I've had my time with it. Remember there was a guy in my college biology class that found out he was colorblind and said, "Oh, that explains the traffic tickets." I mean, you still... I mean, even if you're colorblind, you still see a color changing, right? Or like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's severity of it. Let me get a quarter going. Oh yeah, I can't use Bandicam with this, that's right. Almost forgot. Where did I get to last night, actually? I think we like... Yeah, we were going to the lighthouse. We have to get, like, special components to, like, make electronics smaller or something.
Director Rentier sent me there to deliver a crate of heavy electrical coils. They were designed to help our engineers disrupt the illusion. Unfortunately, before the team...
Where are we at that it's frozen in America in this game? Did we go to Alaska? I'm confused.
Whatever they were hiding must have been important.
I thought it was the summer based on what the other levels, but now it's just frozen over.
Just looked for a miniaturized electrical resonant transformer.
Okay, that's not gonna work. Pack your shit, kid.
Oh, it's northern Texas, all right? That's all it is. Just northern Texas, very cold.
I'll go down first and clear the way.
Or maybe it just took us a very long time to get here.
Skin me alive.
Right. Roger that. Mr.
Colorado?
Jesse.
Okay, I guess it could be like the Rockies or something, maybe. What? We got the fucking Northern Lights. This is it's gotta be Alaska then. What the hell? I don't think they get the Northern Lights down anywhere down south in like the west. Northern Lights. This part of the world. At this time of the year, in this part of the country. And oh yeah, I don't think, do they have like a bunch of, yeah, this has got to be like, I guess we went to Alaska, but I also like, I'm very confused. Very much the Wild West as I'm thinking of it, though, with like pine trees, snow, and the Northern Lights. This is turning into like the Golden Compass. Evil Northern Lights, huh? Speaking of it, is there a Southern Lights or is it specifically a Northern thing? Because you never hear people talking about the Aurora down south. I mean, you'd have to be, right? It's both the poles. There are Southern Lights, yeah, but we never like hear them referred to as that. How do you like this game? I'm solid on it. I mean, I'm hoping the game isn't overly long, because I feel like this game after about 15 hours would sort of like okay game. Kind of got in soon. But for the time being, it's like a solid AA game, I guess. It's not wowing me, but it's also not pissing me off. Like the plot is kind of just garbage, but the combat's working.
Dear Alice, I hope you and the children are well. Yesterday we came across something down in the mines that I can't explain. Imagine a wall of gemstones harder than diamonds. Angus tried to break it apart using dynamite.
You remember, what was the name of the game?
To use a much larger charge, but all that did was cause a cave-in. Many men were
Dante's
lost.
Inferno. I'd say it's about the same as like Dante's Inferno. Does that make sense? Does this seem like a fair assessment? So basically a 7 out of 10. Yeah, but I feel like some people consider 7 out of 10 an insult though, or like it's a sign of a bad game. Which I don't think is quite fair. I would say a 7 out of 10 means it's not a very ambitious game, but it does what it sets out to do. Because I'm not gonna lie, there are some difficulty spikes in the game that really make it difficult. Like you're seeing one right now, maybe. Dead. Yeah, it is somewhat of a difficult game too. God, these fucking tick things are really annoying though. Off to a good start? Well, you know, well, yes. It only took me one death. That's not that bad. Five is supposed to be average, yeah, but the whole, everyone knows that that's not how it works anymore. If a game doesn't at least manage to get a 9 out of 10 for some people, it's like, can't believe this game is such a... Oh, the good... Oh, I forgot to check the snow. You know what? Look at that. It's even doing the snow thing properly, chat. Yeah, but as I was saying, a lot of people, if it doesn't get a 9 out of 10, they're instantly like, what a fucking disappointment. And some people, if it's not even at least an 8, they won't even consider it. At least we haven't got to the point where people like demand 10s. I need a 10 or I'm not buying the game. That's why I don't like number reviews. They don't really tell you anything. It's just like it's shallow.
I'll take that.
I know the money was chasing me. Give me that.
I'll take it.
To be fair though, game ratings could have a factor in buying the game since games are so expensive. I mean, true, but usually that gets mentioned. If it's a brand new game, you can usually assume though that it kind of costs at least $60 to $70 now, unless it's like an indie game. Then it's anywhere between 20 to 40. How did you just get ahead of me? You were back. What?
Any
what?
luck with the coils?
No, they must have transported them somewhere down those rails. But look what our agents left behind.
Huh. I'm gonna take it for a test drive.
Was wood
Thanks.
not available to make a cross? Had to be fancy metal. Crippling. Oh, it's a cross. Oh, never mind. Electrical device blast, electrical discharge, temporarily disabling, electrocuting the enemies while being perfectly harmless to humans. Electricity, very well known to be harmless to humans, by the way. Needs a recharge when used. Press X to use. X. Okay, I'm good. They're using up all the keys. Magic. I love magic, don't you? Since 2023 is here, what games are you hyped for? All of them. Well, some more than others, but it's a new release. It's looking pretty solid this year for new releases. But Resident Evil 4 has my most immediate attention. Followed by, I think, Final Fantasy 16 and maybe the Harry Potter game. And then we'll find out what comes out at the end of the year. Unique combat tool which generates a bright electrical discharge, electrocuting all nearby enemies while being perfectly harmless to humans. It needs time to recharge when used. Press X to use a crippling block. Moo 9000. Are you going to stream Breath of the Wild 2? Yes. He's got puns, chat. He's got puns. Thought that crippling rod was a cross. I mean, I thought it was gonna be a cross too, but obviously it just a flashbang. I was in an Overwatch match where the server closed and it put me in a new game while I was in another. Weird. I mean, I've had weird things happen to Overwatch too. Like one time apparently it just put me, I guess the server like fucked up. So like, hold on.
1890 Baxter. With the creation of this new invention, a new era has arrived.
Hey Gabby, what's up?
This marvel of modern science will empower us in ways we never could have imagined before. Like the invention of the repeating rifle and the Gatling gun, it will revolutionize our ability to wage war against our natural enemies.
But you know, instead of like putting me in the spawn room where you're locked up until the match begins, just let me have a free roam with the map and then it never began. So everyone had to quit out.
medallion. Artwork looks Indian. What is that a picture of?
I don't think it's a picture. You know what? Our boy here, he's a bit of an archaeologist. Okay, puzzle time. I don't know about you, Chad, but I feel like a heroin addict. I just got a sniffle on tonight. Getting that, the sniffles coming on. Like, Oh, got track sleep here. Obviously, this is in the way. Sick, not sick. I just feel like my nose is like wants to run. You know how popular the Netflix Castlevania series is? I'm shocked Konami hasn't greenlit a new game. I'm gonna guess like they did with Silent Hill this year. This year we'll probably also see them announce a bunch of Metal Gear stuff and maybe Castlevania, or maybe that'll take another year. I don't know. But yeah, if they were smart, they would capitalize it. So maybe let's hope they're smart. What's that to do with heroin? You know what people like heroin's got? Oh, maybe I should have said coke, not heroin. You know, the sniffing.
All right now.
Guard doesn't know about drugs. Yeah, I know. I said the wrong drug. All right, Jesus Christ. You're not one of the cool kids, Dartigan. You don't know heroin for cocaine. Is that really what you're going to pull on me? I mean, isn't that a good thing that I'm, you know, hey, I don't really know much about drugs because I don't fucking do them?
More money. Almost there. Gotta get to that other switch.
Who would ever design it to need two switches? Okay, Dara, I don't do drugs either. Good. You don't need them. Unless they're prescribed. One alcohol. Yes, one marijuana, please, sir. Your finest marijuana. Yes, I am also over the age of 21. Wish humans could hibernate and sleep through the whole winter. You know what? I don't know. I like the idea of them being alert and, you know, enjoy life. I don't want to sleep all day long. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I can understand why some people would want to, but then it also means you got to get really fat in the, like, during the summer. Do you want that? Do you want to have to put on like 150 pounds of like weight and then just so for like all of summer just so you have to sleep it off once it gets winter and cold? I don't know if I'd like that bit of it either. Imagine everyone had 3 lives in real life. That would actually be pretty damn awesome. But you know, people be like wasting them. Like, dude, I'm gonna like totally like dive head first off this cliff just to see what it's like. Watch me do it. I got 2 more lives, bro. It wasn't matter. Told you I was gonna get sniffy. Everyone had the 3 lives that abuse the shit out. Yeah, well, but how, well, I don't know if it's abuse. I mean, they're yours to use.
Money.
Money. He said that almost like sexually, like money.
Dear Alice, I'll soon be returning home as the mine has been shut down. Agents of the Rentier Institute showed up.
I did read a manga once. I never finished it though. Where like there were like the entire civilization was full of people who couldn't die. Like they weren't immortal. They eventually died of old age. But if they would actually like if they got sick, instead of like taking medicine, they just shoot themselves in the head and then spring back up fully healed, without the illness. So their entire society was built around the idea they just like don't die until they're like at the age of 60. I forget the name of it though. I kind of just forgot about it, never finished it, but it was actually pretty cool.
Now we're good to go.
You realize this man did this just so he didn't have to like jump over some like pipes over there.
That's it.
There's just like some boxes. He's like, I got a bad knee. I can't walk. You'll get over them. Father, I have to stop you from dying, Kratos. But why? Just walk out of the underworld. I did like, yeah, I'm. Like I said, I like that game, but that was so stupid that I had to take that seriously. Sounds like a manga version of Midsummer. Maybe it was like It was like actually a detective story because the story revolved around like people appearing who could actually strip people of their immortality by making them fall in love with them. And then they could actually die a regular death if something killed them, not just like die out by aging. So it was like a big... I never finished it though. It was actually really good, but I think someone stopped translating it, then I just forgot about it. Do my best Arthur Morgan impression? Oh god, I gotta work into that, you know? Arthur... well, now that I'm sniffly, maybe I can do it like his dying voice. Jesus, I hate Dutch. No, I can't do Arthur. Jesus sake. Yeah, sorry, got nothing on. I can't do Arthur. Have you ever read Monster? No, but I know about it. Let it. Yeah, I can do his weirder voices. Let it.
Mr. Jesse, I think I found a shortcut.
Okay, you're pissing me
That's a
off now.
rusty
You keep getting ahead of me.
shortcut,
I had to
Verge.
solve a puzzle.
Well. Of course it's not working.
Luckily, you have a faithful sidekick who can kickstart that thing.
Why does this man carry an empty gun holster on him and not an actual gun in it? They should have... That's not how you fall. That's not how that works. Empty gun holster is for his hot sauce? Oh. Yeah, he doesn't like all the white food, that's right.
God damn it, that hurt! That was painful!
You gotta fucking help? You're not even staring at me as I fight for my life. Gotta get up early tomorrow, so now, hey, Western, have a good day, man. Sorry you have to leave so soon. But then again, the other option is just sitting here listening to me snorting like a pug. Which feels like I'm gonna be doing for the rest of the night. Must have been all the, the cayenne pepper I put on my chicken. And, see chat, I'm one of those white guys who like spicy food. In case that was something you were concerned with. Like, does my streamer like spicy food?
One down. Now for the
Also,
other
I still
two, and we
am
can
confused where this whole idea that white people don't like
Anything
spice
be
came from.
simple here?
When did people start making that joke? I mean, it's funny, don't get me wrong, it is fucking hilarious. But it's never even been remotely true. They're not like, we literally, horrible as it was, we fucking took over countries against us.
Holy moly, it's cold.
Like, oh yes, my ships loaded with the spices are crossing the Mediterranean as we speak. What's new, Dart? I don't know. Apparently saying hot takes about spice wars or something. I don't know. I'm good. And I got nothing new really to report. But how you doing, man? How's business life? Europeans love Indian food. Oh, it's like all the what is it? Curry? Yeah, they love their curry. think it just became like a joke in the recent few years. Remember England taking over India for spices? Well, they took over most of like the undiscovered, well, not undiscovered, but undeveloped world at one point in time. But yeah, they did that for a lot. Well, there's other things to it, but spices and like, stuff like that was very important to them. Britain didn't use any of those spices in their food. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure, didn't they? I mean, they had to use some of it. Otherwise, what the hell were they doing there? Sorry, I'm just like playing in snow right now. Because we don't get to do that this year because it's too cold. I mean, too warm. And their current food, maybe they lost the taste for it over time, but they once like, hey, which country can we take over for their food culture next? I mean, I don't blame them. Have you seen English food? I mean, not to disparage it, but come on. They've been talking about how great their English breakfast is for like the past, ever since I've been alive. And I yet to remain and ever be impressed by it. Oh, it's like you have like fried tomatoes and beans for breakfast, and what's that all imaginative? Meanwhile, the Brits in chat are just fucking seething. Did he just insult the English breakfast? Dare he?
I'm taking it.
I'm just sorry the idea of baked beans for breakfast ain't appealing to me. Neither is fried tomatoes and then like blood sausage. Yeah, I just said our food is dreadful. Some of them like talk about it a lot. Like I said, I always hear them talking about the English breakfast and how great it is. And I just never like, I mean, I guess it's maybe good, but I don't know. Nothing I'd like be, that proud of. I mean, I guess they're, Brits have a lot of funny names for their food too, I've noticed. Like Toad in the Hole and everything else. Like what?
Okay.
And the old blood pudding. Even, I mean, well, that is pretty literal. It is blood, but hey. Brits took over half the world for their spices, decided they hated said spice, and retreated back to their... Is that what you think history happened? Like, you know what? I'm not so much into this taste anymore. Let's just give it back to the people. Eggs in an S. Is that the, like, you take a piece of bread and cut a hole in it and just, like, fry an egg in it? Because I've done that. That's pretty... once or twice, it's like, it's not too bad. Due to England that Australia was created, they unintentionally made the most toughest people in the world. Are they, though? I mean, it makes for a good joke, but I'm sure they're definitely, like... I don't know. I mean, it's not like they're out there, like, fist-fighting kangaroos or something. I don't mean to... I'm sure there's plenty of tough ones, but I don't know if they're any more tougher than anyone else, though. It's not like the Australians are like the new Spartans. Like, oh, yes, we the few. They take them out and like, the weakest of us are thrown from mountaintops. I'd say Russians are the toughest? Really? That's a strange statement to say right now. Considering what's going on in the world.
More money.
So Jimbo is an Australian. He had 12-inch spiders just tilling at his house. 12. Yeah, but when I say toughest, I mean someone who's like, I'm bred for war. Said, I don't think there is any like one group of people is like, we're the strongest humans. That's always like a very like, weird thought to have. Like, oh yes, because no human is like made for war or battle. We're not fucking Saiyans out there. Took a break from being a certified workaholic today. Good on you, man. Good on you. In order to give my girlfriend attention, so that was nice. And now I'm working and watching the stream at the same time. By the way, decided not to build a storage server for now, and instead provision one in a nearby data center. Much smaller upfront costs for the time being. Having cash on is pretty important anyways. By next week, the 210 server, yeah, it's probably, also a lot less maintenance than taking care of it yourself. But glad you gave yourself a day off. Make sure you give yourself those often, you don't want to work yourself to death. Spartans were incredibly overrated. Oh, they definitely were. They were really just a big basically, since they were a slave state, they needed a big military to make sure their slaves didn't revolt. That's where the vaunted Spartan military came from. They were just like, yeah, we were just like beating up slaves and, talking about how badass that we were. And everyone bought into it for history's sake. Like, oh yes, Spartans, the most elite, slave drivers and pedophiles the world has ever known.
That should be it.
It worked, Mr. Jesse.
I can see that.
Look at the Battle of Stalingrad. I mean, they were willing to sacrifice a whole lot of their people.
Now
And yeah, I'm not saying that wasn't a rough time, but then again, a lot of people died back then. I mean, a lot of fucking Germans died in that war too, but you're probably not gonna make the same argument like you see how many Germans died. I mean, there's a lot. So no, one, they were basically being marched into a meat grinder. I don't think that's particularly a sign of strength. I think it's a sign of like a desperate fucking leader that they all had no choice but to follow. Stalin was not exactly known for his battlefield, intelligence. But so I don't know if I can agree with you just because of that one point. Because I think they, for one, Russia would have likely lost to the Germans had they not been supplied with all the equipment they needed by U.S. and England. History doesn't always mention that little fact. Like almost all their trucks for their logistics, they came from the U.S. Which basically allowed them to like spend all their time building tanks and everything. Mainly tanks actually.
Sir? Are you sure
True,
about
no
this?
maintenance costs, no insanely high power bill. Yeah, you made the right choice then.
Fastest, but the safest? I'm not so
Florida
sure.
man arrested for
You're
having
no
a
fun,
youth
Verge.
fight. Florida man? When asked why he did it, he replied, "I wanted to toughen my son up." You know what? I don't think beating your children, makes them into better characters. Usually, it only works like that way in fiction. But do they have laws in Florida where you can't actually name someone when they get arrested? Is that why it's always just Florida men? History doesn't mention all the torturing and raping they did. Oh yeah, there was a bad time, and there's like 2 million rapes throughout Germany after they stormed through it. Rough, and we all like to talk about like the rape of Nanking, but I think there was like several of those that happened in Europe at the time. Speaking of Stalin, the photo of him next. Oh yeah, the one where he has people constantly being deleted out of photographs. Yeah, I'm aware of it. Told you, Chad. I'm a bit of I like history, so I didn't do a lot of reading on it. So if you want to keep this going, I can go for a while. It's really right up my alley. I mean, some people probably find it boring as sin, but hey. America basically carried not necessarily one in the Pacific, yes. A lot of people like to use the phrase the war was won by British intelligence, American steel, and Russian blood. Which is, to a degree, oh well. Sorry, didn't realize I was dead there. To a degree, kind of true. It's kind of difficult to tell. I don't like those arguments like, we only won the war because of us. It was a team effort, definitely. I'm not gonna say anyone deserves more credit than anyone else. I do think the Russians, in desperation, basically just threw a lot of their people. Like, are you aware that the Russian, like, if you were like born in like 1920 something Russia, your chances of living past most of the people born in Russia at that time, the males, were dead like by 1945. It took them like to the 90s. For like their generational recovery from their losses of World War II. So I do feel that they just like really, throw bodies at the wall. And they also had like orders for a while that you couldn't actually retreat or be shot by your own commanders. So I'm very critical of how they fought that war. I think it was like a waste of human life. Yeah, no retreat policy. Eventually they stopped that because they realized, oh, this is like demoralizing the men. But for a while it was in place. And I've heard supposedly it's in place now in Ukraine as well. What's my favorite historical event? One that doesn't get mentioned very much, mainly because there's not a lot of information on it. And it's like the Bronze Age collapse. It's like for a period of time, the humanity went through like a civilization like apocalypse. Where like almost all the civilizations at the time just collapsed. And like basically due to like a mysterious group of people that we still don't really have a clear idea of who they were. Called the Sea Peoples, who were just like invading the fuck out of everyone at the same time. And basically just like, all the big civilizations at the time, Egypt, Sumeria I think it was, or was it someone else? Like all of them at the time just like fucking collapsed. They just couldn't just stand up to it, and everything just like went to hell for like the next couple centuries. So it's actually somewhat of a mystery because I don't think they ever figured out quite who the Sea Peoples were. Okay, I gotta pay attention this time or I will get up. Maybe I should play the Donkey Kong music. it was the Templars. I mean, they could make a Assassin's Creed game out of that. They really could. It would still suck, but it's an interesting time period. But this is going awfully fast for something isn't really that big of a downhill thing. Battle of Osawik, where dead Russians literally came back. Oh, that's in World War I, right? When they got like hit by chemicals. Yeah, I've heard of that. Like the, you know, they're basically like rotting, or like their flesh was falling off because it's so strong. So what you're saying is Russia were the poster child of killing your own men to prove what a bastard you are? To a degree, yes. But they weren't just like, they were mainly just like, hey, go out there and fight for the motherland and be a hero. And if you don't, we'll shoot you. So your really only option was like, you know what, better to die and be known as a hero, I guess. More shooting yourself in the foot to execute generals, officers for failures. It does have the intended purpose? I don't know. I feel like it just demoralizes your own troops if they could think, okay, if people behind me are shooting at me and the people in front of me are shooting at me, well, I'm just screwed. Theorize that they were basically pirates made of people throughout the Mediterranean instead of specific people group. Still baffles me how much of history we don't know. Yeah, a good part of history is actually completely, we really only have like nothing but like vague accounts to go on. We just treat that as like it's the best we got. It's really not until like the Roman times that history starts getting recorded pretty well. Like the Romans were like kind of like the first to really like be diligent in keeping records. That's one of the reasons we know so much about them. And we kind of like, you know, look back and they take up a big part of Western history classes. Because we can actually fucking, well, Greeks too, but more so the Romans.
Hey, are you alright?
So there is another way down.
But I'm sure yours was
Not to change the
exciting.
subject, but why did so many people
gotta
believe
see
the
this.
oracles of Greece and seers when their predictions couldn't have been really religion, man? Like, yeah, well, maybe they get them wrong, or maybe the gods changed their mind. I don't know. I can't really answer that one for you. I mean, how do we even know they did? I mean, maybe that just accounts the way people wrote it. I'm sure there were some people like, you know what? I think these bitches be crazy. I think they're just high on drugs and telling us shit. You're like, how dare you speak heresies of the seers? But I don't know. I'm sure there was people who had their doubts. But when you throw like religious dogma into the mix, you know what? You'll make excuses for it when they get it wrong. Because when something good happens, you're like, oh, clearly this is the sign the gods favor us this year.
With this workstation, you can easily upgrade your tech all by yourself now. Wait, have I just made myself useless?
Yes.
Nah, you're still good for comic relief.
I am?
Now, still, why do you even wear the gun holster if you don't put a gun in it, you weirdo? But you wear two empty gun holsters? Okay, this is a fashion trend for you, isn't it? Oh, I just love how they make my hips look. Is that the reason? Finger guns, new upgrade unlocked. Oh, blast. Electric upgrade for the revolver is now available. The electricity augmented version of the Rentier revolver that deals more damage and can make bullets ricochet. Alright. Healing is now followed up with a short 5-second invulnerable. Okay, I already got that one. Improve boomstick reload. Okay. And these things are expensive and most of them are still locked out. Could get another perk though. Or can we? We cannot. Any predictions to make for future history? Not in the long term, because I think we're entering a time period where things will get really spicy and also really weird. So I will only predict like the next decade for this decade by 2030. I think AI is going to be a major part of people's lives, just like how smartphones became a major part of everybody's life after like 2008, all the way up to like till now. I think a lot of your entertainment in the future is going to be like made specifically for you, by artificial intelligence. It'll know what you like and what will get you to like watch or you'll do more of. And so you, instead of like subscribing to a Netflix service, you'll subscribe to like some kind of like service or like literally create custom entertainment for you on the fly. Or maybe you just like give it like a brief rundown of what you want and it'll like put it together. I think that's gonna happen. Also think, well, that's just one small facet of it. AI will be in like everything. Maybe self-driving cars too, though who knows about that one. Because, you know, but I think basically this will be like a decade where AI is really going to be like messing with a lot of people's lives in like in ways they don't expect. Because it's already beginning right now, I feel. The 2022 is a year like really people started to pay attention, I feel. With like all the AI art and then like Chat GPT at the very end of it. And this year is going to see OpenAI release like GPT-4, which will be even better than Chat GPT. One of these guys again. Come on. Have you Shadversity's video and AI art? Oh, I've played with video. I did streams on video on AI art. And done. Self-driving cars are stupid in my opinion. It doesn't matter what you think they're stupid or not. If they make people money, they will happen. And they tend to make a lot of money if they get it working. But yeah, that's my prediction for 2000, the next 10, all the way to 2030 at the very least. Expect AI to like be in like every single industry and also a major part of everybody's life. And how they like are entertained, even in healthcare. Like all sorts of crazy shit. War with China? I actually don't believe the war with China will like, or at least China invading Taiwan is gonna happen, because the more I've looked into it, I mean, I'm not some fucking, you know, I hate saying the more I've looked into it, I've done my research. Keep in mind, I am just some dude who looks at websites, no different from you. So what I've come to believe might be dead wrong. So, future Dartigan may be looking like a dumbass right now. I really don't think the whole China invading Taiwan thing will happen, based off, basically based off a lot of like demographics of China. Like you gotta remember, like a lot of China's like current male age population is like their family's only child, due to that 1 year, one child only policy they had for so long. And China is very big on keeping their population like not, you know, at their throat. So sending a lot of them off to die and like drown in the sea as they get shot up would probably piss off a lot of the, you know, the parents back home, because hey, that's how are they going to take care of themselves? And in China, apparently a lot of like responsibility of taking care of like elderly falls on their children instead of like so much of the state. But also there's also the issue like it's almost a guarantee if they actually went after Taiwan, the rest of the world would come after them, because we need chips. We need all the chips. And I'm not talking about Doritos. We need those, you know, TSMC like good chips, like low, you know, nano machine, nanometers, ships that they have. That pretty much gives them a shield because it's basically like the oil the next century. Like that, we ain't letting that happen. It'd be like Iraq going into Kuwait. We're like, nope, we're taking this fucker out. Doritos. I wish it was only like a war of Doritos. And it just doesn't seem like it's... One, keep in mind, a maritime invasion of an island is already incredibly difficult. And even the US turned down invading Taiwan back in World War II because they considered it too hard. And the US is arguably the best at maritime invasions anyone has ever been in the world. And then they were like, you know what, let's go for Okinawa instead. And because apparently Taiwan is just like really fucking difficult to get access to. It's like only available for like 2 months out of the year you could possibly even pull it off. Like half its coastline is like mountainous and there's only like maybe a couple spots you could even invade at. Like land troops at. So it would be difficult. What is my objective right now? Do I need to go this way or do I need to go talk to dude? Well, I can't go back, so we're going this way. World War Dorito. We never saw it coming, did we? Only 10 years before nanomachines become... Well, I'm not predicting nanomachine technology like that. That seems like it's a bit further off. Unless AI stuff goes crazy and invents it, who knows? So invading Taiwan is like invading Russia during the winter. I guess that's one way of putting it. Probably harder though, because even then you're still walking on solid ground. Invading on a boat, it's this. I mean, keep in mind, it's even debatable if anyone, even America, could pull off an successful maritime invasion now, due to like, well, we have anti-ship missiles, things they didn't have back in the 1940s, and so it's kind of hard to like know how it would go until someone tries it. And let's just say no one really wants to be the one to try it. I feel. Talking about more history, I mean, technically this is like possible, would become history one day maybe. You can Google some unclassified information because hint there is more you need a clearance to see on China's strength in the South China Sea, but keep that hope alive. I mean, like I said, all I can know is like all I can look at is public information, and I'm just know like that's what I've seen. It just feels like they'd be really just doing the same mistake Russia's currently making of invading Ukraine, maybe even more so if they ever tried to take Taiwan. But also, I don't think we should ever ignore like authoritarian regimes when they say they want to take some land from someone else, because they usually mean it. And like thinking they're like just bluffing usually ends up being a mistake. So maybe they will give it a shot if they get desperate enough. Usually when an authoritarian regime gets desperate, they make big blunders like that. Like, how do we get the people to like not throw us out of power? Invade somebody. So maybe it could happen regardless. Zito, Kiran, and Grant have left Team 4-Star, meaning the only people left at the studio are Nick, Kaiser, and Taka. What? I don't know, I haven't watched them in years. Don't they just mainly do, like, actual dubbing these days? I mean, I only really watch them for Dragon Ball stuff. And also, like, a la carte. They're like, they're Bridge series. I haven't really cared what they do otherwise. Building man-made islands in South China Sea so they can... Well, they do that because they know if they actually invaded Taiwan, the US would likely, like, blockade all the shipping going through Indonesia in the Malacca Strait, and that would just cut their legs out from underneath them, because China doesn't actually have much of what they need to, like, be self-sufficient in terms of, like, natural resources outside of, like, steel and coal. Like, all their oil and natural gas is shipped to them. So, if they ever went to war over Taiwan, the US Navy like, hey, guess what we're gonna do? Blockade all your shit. So they're very worried about that, and that's why they try to go after like South China Sea and also their Belt and Road Initiative. Wow, where's all my dick jokes tonight? Why am I like talking about serious shit? This is turning like the most like brainy stream I've ever done, and I'm here playing like a game with like zombies and cowboys. Alright chat, I'm becoming a political streamer from here on out. Get ready for all my hot takes on like things like politics, race, social justice, all this spicy shit. North Korea probably going to implode on itself. I don't know. It's hard to predict that. They seem like they're really good at just like, nah, we're gonna stick around. So I would never like predict North Korea is gonna like implode. Like, I think it would have happened by now. Only way I see that happening is if like the nation's leaders eventually like all die at once, where they just get really tired. Like, you know what? I'm tired of being a dictator. It's just like, you know, fuck it, we're done.
Where now?
We made a 10-year prediction, and China plans to have a military parity in 10 years. Whether they do or not, debatable.
I'll try to
I don't know if you can have a military, at least, well, speak specifically naval parity with the U.S. within 10 years. Seems an awfully high order. That's why China's making artificial islands, creating a chain of anti-ship missile batteries, and making bases in solid. Well, they've already like actually, I think, don't they have like one of the largest like ballistic missile forces? They're basically, their military strategy is to like make it very difficult for the U.S. to ever get anywhere near Taiwan in a operation. So they're like, we just have a bunch of anti-ship missiles and stuff. Not to actually try to fight the U.S. at sea, which seems like a suicidal idea.
Coils around here? No? Okay.
Oh shit! You donked me. What about on my left? Oh fuck, that's what it meant. Raven medley like heart kisses back at you, babe. Right, I know how to flirt. Also, you have a good night. The vampire used the power of the cross. I mean, it's actually just a shock. I think they're all vampires. Yeah, it's not really the holy power of the Lord. It's just, here's some electricity. Oh. This guy Van Helsing? No, he's just a cowboy guy. Basically, I guess kind of in like an organization that's vampires, so, but not Van Helsing.
I am, as long as that big ugly bat thing is dead for good.
Read through China's history and learn that they go through periods where one kingdom breaks up into many smaller kingdoms until they end up... Yeah, I'm aware. That their entire history is like someone takes control, rules for like a while with their mandate of heaven, then either like a famine or a revolution happens and several million people die, and then you get a change of government, and then the whole thing starts over again. Maybe this time they can avoid the whole millions die thing though. That'd be nice.
I think I found the entrance, Mr. Jesse.
Well done, Verge.
Like the Order 1886? Yeah, but you know, only cowboys in the American West. And not also like a Gears of War game, it's more like...
Is it safe yet, Mr. Jesse?
It's actually more like God of War than it would be than Gears of War.
Coils here.
Well, I'm fine, sir. Dark and messy rooms are kind of my natural habitat. Thank you, Mr. Jesse. Holy moly! The hell is that thing?
Something worth putting up a damn big glamour for, I guess.
I've never seen such a peculiar being. Looks like one of those dinosaurs they dug up in a desert.
What's in there?
This is incredible. According to these studies, it's some kind of pre-Columbian
You read that
creature.
entire 2
The
pages
natives
in like a
called it
second.
The Piazza. Scott's gonna shit bricks when he hears about this. I mean, Agent Bloom is gonna be really interested in this find. He majored in mythological creatures, but seeing it with your own eyes?
Splendiferous. That freaky kid's building an army of foul bloods. How did you get roped into all this?
Look here. The last entry is from the 12th of May, 3 years ago. That's probably when the ticks came.
This ugly-ass trophy must have been important to her.
It's clear she didn't want uninvited guests here.
Nerds
Get
read
the
really
coils,
fast. The
kid.
glasses help, you know.
Let's find a place where you can fix the gauntlet, because we need it ready for action. That was suspiciously fast. You sure it works now?
Mr. Renier, sir?
Got the way
We
back
have a
from Alaska that
situation.
quickly, huh?
I'm kind of in the middle of something.
Well, it's more of an emergency, actually. Some ticks have gotten loose in the basement, and,
What got out of what now?
it was an honest mistake. I was taking the liberty to experiment with some ticks we captured, and things got out of hand.
Mr. Jesse, before you go all red and do that angry maniac thing you do, maybe we could consider it a great opportunity.
You make it so hard to like you, Verge. You know that, right?
Remember that fortuitous gauntlet malfunction that helped you and your father survive? Turns out that that malfunction is a simple override protocol. One you can now control thanks to, well, me. You're welcome.
This better work, or there's gonna be a gauntlet malfunction on your face. I ain't got time to be cleaning up every mess you nerds make.
Wait, did the word
don't
nerd
talk
even
about Black
exist at
Will
this?
about
No,
this.
it couldn't have existed in this time.
Mr. Renier?
Nerds. The idea of a cowboy using the word nerd is just what? Arthur, you seen all those nerds? Just that's just weird. Sorry, but I don't think we're like nerds. New perk, press the view. And what's the new perk? Project. Press Q to destroy the incoming. Okay, we've done that one. Zapper Slam. Killing a mid-air enemy, and then we got hitting an enemy's weak point has a 50% chance to drop a health pickup. Lucy doesn't have an exit. This whole game takes place in the Midwest, Google says. Yeah, but then we just came back from like the icy north where like the northern lights were visible. Explain that one. Hold Q while looking at a mid-air enemy to smash. I'll probably never remember to do that, so... Over that. Calling him a nerd, our hero proceeded to run in straight circles like this. Yeah, we're a cool jock carried cowboy.
There's some kind of havoc in the basement.
Northern lights are visible in New York. Anything at that latitude? I don't think we were in New York. Montana is not known for, well, wait, does Montana have a lot of, like, big mountains like that? I guess maybe it does, I don't know. They didn't really specify where it was at, I don't think. Press T to enter supercharge mode. Alright, so it's like powered by the batteries, huh? Alright. Montana. I've never been to Montana, so for some reason I think of that area as like being really flat and just really cold.
I can't thank you enough for your help, sir.
Ticks in the basement, Bloom. Are you out
I like
of
the
your mind?
ventriloquism on display
Sorry,
here.
sir. It was only for research purposes, but it got out of hand. Won't happen again, sir. I promise. Dr. Blackwell is waiting for you upstairs.
I don't know, Amelia. It felt kind of right to be out there, working side by side.
This just came in. It's from Agent Gravener. Good or bad?
Private.
Oh,
Speaking of bad, I found a giant ancient cadaver in Baxter. Any idea why Ticks would want to hide it?
A few. Why isn't Agent Bloom allowing anyone in to see your father?
Security, Doc. Calico's the last working cell in the country, and we mean to keep it that way. That means closing a few doors? Well, so be it.
But I'm a medical professional and the head of this cell.
So a chain of command shouldn't be an issue for you.
It isn't, sir.
Emilia, you don't have to get all...
I'd prefer Dr. Blackwell, sir. Ready for debrief whenever suits you best.
Everyone in the game looks mildly pissed off. Yeah, there's a good degree. Maybe that's just how they were back in the Western days. Got a mighty pissed off attitude. You had to have one, right? Hey, Elder. You ever have chili and cinnamon rolls? I just learned people actually eat that. I have never even considered that an option. But I've mentioned before that I've never actually really eaten chili. The way I'd eat chili as a kid is I'd get get a bowl of chili, but I would only use it to dip crackers into the chili sauce. You know, the liquid. I didn't want to eat any of the thing that's in part of the chili. Like, I just want to like dip my crackers in it. It's pretty good, not gonna lie.
Oh, there you are. Well, let's skip to the things we're here for, shall we?
Explains why people never smile in pictures. But well, actually, that was a cultural thing that they didn't want to smile over them. Also, like, it took forever to develop your photos or like take a photo back then. I mean, would you want to hold a smile for like 10 minutes? So people would just like keep their face still because they had to stand very still to make sure the photo would take.
The creature you found in the Devil's Pass is essentially an oversized leech, a bloodsucker of sorts. Its stomach acids prevent blood from coagulation.
So it's like a living container?
Precisely. Moreover, according to microscopic analysis, the blood within the leech is remarkably old. It's not only that, it isn't like anything we've ever seen.
And Felicity feeds it to her familiars. Gotta learn more about that sawmill and how it's all connected.
Night, fellow. Hey, Garrus, have a good night, man.
The McCallum sawmill was founded in 1845 by Elijah McCallum. Definition of a small-town
And they
family
just throw
operation.
levels at you in this
After
game, don't they?
Elijah's death 2 years ago, the mill was bought out by an investor representing the Andalusia Financial Services Group. Conglomerate of banks, oil fields, railways, you name it.
What does a big fish like that want with a shitty little sawmill on the ass end of nowhere?
It's unclear. The purchase itself was entirely above board.
What about the forest? Old native ritual sites, burial mounds, anything?
Nothing a note, no.
Well, guess I'll just have to figure this out on my own then. Thanks for your time, Dr. Blackwell. I hope
I live to serve, sir. I'll get back to my research now.
Poor lady on the table. That wasn't a lady. That was that was a giant leech. I can see why that would confuse you. I got a lot of... Oh god, that's horrible. Got a lot of similarities. This is incel Dartigan talking, guys. Incel Dartigan. You know what? Women are just like leeches. Go suck you dry of your life and your money. This has been Incel Dartigan speaking. What was going on, Fast? I know I memory of the past 15 seconds or so. Incel Dartigan, Chad. Best character I've ever come up with. Hope you liked it. He might be making future appearances.
Ooh, Zapper's acting up.
I'm like an emo douche. That is... I don't... It's Incel Dartigan who does. You can see why I was confused. Andrew Tate's been real educational. I bet Incel Dartigan is a big fan of Andrew Tate. That succubus made me sign up for OnlyFans. You succubus. How could you? You didn't even provide the feet pics. Emo Dutch. So you're emo Dutch. Well, he kind of got that, sounded that way toward the end, you know. You know, tuberculosis will make anyone sound emo.
Holy shit. Chester did say something about the source of the glamour.
Arthur, well, that's what I meant, actually.
The source. More disgusting than I even imagined. The glamour's probably secured by more of these ugly tumors. Need to take them out to destroy the illusion.
If it's an illusion, then why can't you just walk through it? This is like physical barrier at that point, my man. Wepo. Exploding enemies? Yep. I think these guys were taken straight out of like that salmon what's that first person game? I've never played it, but I know there's like suicidal enemies that charge at you while screaming. Dying Light? No. Like a million games, yeah, but it's famous from like, shit, what is the name of it? It's like one where there's like, it's got like a guy in a white t-shirt as the main character. With like a with like a bomb on it, like a bomb picture on the chest of his t-shirt. It's Serious Sam, yeah, Serious Sam as like that guy. I've never played any of them, so because they never looked that good to me. But some people like them. They're really just like, here's like as many enemies we can put on the screen as possible. Twilight RPG? Wouldn't that just be a dating sim? I mean, didn't like the Twilight movie basically turn into X-Men at the end? Because everyone had like special powers or something.
These ugly critters again.
What's Stephanie Meyer up to these days? Is she writing anything new? Or is she on Twitter also like talking about how all the characters were actually gay? And also like pissing off all the social, like everyone on Twitter? Like new hot takes? I feel like every author should do that now. I know that's J.K. Rowling, that's who I was referencing. I'm just saying that Stephanie Meyer is like almost equally, well, she had a book series that was about probably as popular as Harry Potter was for a time. Maybe not quite that level, but definitely popular with all the horny ladies out there. And a lot of gay men were really into that as well. Because, well, obviously. Ow! Hey, why my pistol bullets aren't good enough to make you explode? She's a Mormon, so there's that. Oh, well, maybe she won't be talking about all of her characters are gay. Goosebumps, some elementary. I remember reading Goosebumps as a kid. Those were like really fun. I mean, now they're super cringy. But I really liked them when I was a child. I remember like wanting to get always like what little money I could, I would use them to buy those. Hey, it got me, that's what got me into reading, so I wouldn't be here today without them. What is a Mormon? And you know, it surprised me that people haven't heard of Mormons before. But then, you know, I mean, maybe they aren't as common over there in India. Star Wars Era of the Empire convinced 9-year-old me reading was fun. See, that's pretty good. For me though, it was it was Goosebumps. Well, I'd read books before as a kid. Like I used to read like a bunch of dinosaur books. But yeah, for some reason Goosebumps is like when I was a child. Like, yeah, this is good shit.
Possession of this shithole, but it looks abandoned. This machinery hasn't been used for ages.
Eventually, though, I graduated from those.
Bet the answer's hidden behind that glamour.
Goosebumps is just Junji Ito for kids. I don't know if I describe it in the same vein as Junji Ito. I mean, most of the horror in Goosebumps was a jump. Almost every single Goosebumps book has the same exact scene where the chapter will end with someone like talking about something like draped over their face and smother them, or wrapped around their neck and they could feel its fingers tightening, and then you turn the page, they get tangled in a curtain or something. Like eventually, like, wow, these kids are fucking stupid. Like life was being slowly choked out of me as the monster's fingers tightened around my throat. All it is a coat.
And poverty-stricken. Dirt poor peasants living simply to survive, bound by pain, clinging to a pointless life. Your only ambition was to pass that suffering on to your young. But now that you have decided to accept my gift, you can leave all that pain and fear behind. I gave meaning to your blood. and blood is everything.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. I'm sorry. Yeah, I gotta do the classics. Sega warns the Like a Nation remake will not remove content for the Western release to convert to Western viewers. Warns the game will contain problematic content like slavery. I mean, good. I mean, that's history for you. Sometimes it was unfair and brutal and terrible. I don't believe history should be like changed to make things more palatable. I'd like an advice. I got enough cash for one game this month, so should I get Dead Space Remake or Forspoken? Then American... I think, honestly, I played the demo of Forspoken and I wasn't that impressed. It felt a little messy. Obviously that'll be a longer game, so if you want more game to play for your one game you buy this month, that one will probably last longer, but I feel like... Also, if you've never played Dead Space 1 before, I mean... that will give more value to as well, but if maybe you played Dead Space 1 before and you want a game that'll have more legs to it, maybe go with that one. Otherwise, I think Dead Space will probably be a better game. But then again, it is EA, so who knows? Hard to tell. Evil West, this game made by CCP? No. But I appreciate that level of humor. No, this game glorifies the white man and the West. Like, they were really good at killing vampires. Have enough points to buy an upgrade, do I? Great finish. Performing a zapper finish produces a spike of electricity, dropping energy pickup. To finish an enemy with zapper, perform either dash or pull on a near-death opponent. I should prefer that. Here's a random flamethrower. Well, less sophisticated R1 are okay. Weapons that sprays flames at enemies. Hidden wiring uses gauntlet energy to slowly refuel its tank over time. What? We use electricity to fuel our flamethrower. Press 2 to equip and that to fire, huh? Good. This dude is more gun than man at this point. Yeah, he's got a lot of shit on him now. Look at it. Did the Wild West actually exist in the same capacity we usually see in media, or was it mostly false? I'm asking because I want to hear history. It's actually mostly false. In fact, a lot of our entertainment based on the Wild West came from one single town that was like a lot of people got off the train at, and they would actually stage like Wild West shenanigans for like people when they get off the train to make it into like a tourist trap. So they'd like stage like brawls and like supposed gunfights and like robberies, so when people would get off the train they'd see it and like, oh my god, this is the Wild West, as well as a bunch of stage plays also built up the myth of the Wild West. To be honest, most of the West wasn't that wild, is in fact quite peaceful and lawful. And actually, there weren't as many guns as you would even think. A lot of towns actually in that development period didn't allow people to like walk around with guns. You'd get your ass put in like the the slammer if you like walked around with a gun on your hip. So most of it is made up. There are some like definitely like real stuff that like criminals that that were like outlaws and shit like that, and marshals going around hunting them down. But most of it is just like fictional. Like most of the entertainment though is based on fiction. Since I missed the start of this first stream of this, can you tell me what's the plot of this game? We are part of an American underground organization that fights vampires and their servants for America using steampunk technology. And then like new breed of vampires like destroyed our base of operations and infected our dad. And now we're trying to clean up the mess and maybe stop the vampires from winning. So that's the basic rundown. Atomic Heart and Like a Dragonation come out the same day. Which would you play versus? Atomic Heart. This is America, that was space. Easily conflate the two, I understand.
There you are.
You like Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter? Yes, but you'll not quite as like toned down as that. Because these vampires also employ like ticks that mutate people into zombies, and then you have magic like this. Like the glamours. And we're using like lightning and other stuff to fight them too. Break the sawmill illusion.
Easy. Jeez, that damn smell doesn't bode well. Let's take a look-see.
Oh, leeches. Nope. See, the guy who puts white paint on climbable ledges use radioactive chains. Basically, yeah, well, let me just put the paint on the chains. Then again, a lot of that early glow-in-the-dark paint was radioactive, wasn't it? Ooh, that looks ominous.
Goddamn blood factory.
Read about the radium girls. I've actually read about that. It's actually, yeah, it is very sad. But then again, basically everything regarding the creation of X-rays and the first people to use them was also fucking terrifying. You know, they used to be, Chad, they used to have like traveling like vehicles that would give out free X-rays, so you could see what your bones look like. They'd do it in the public street. Like, oh, free X-rays, free X-rays. Tell your friends, bring your family. Cannonballing, well, we're really free, you paid, but hey, it's like a carnival thing almost. Cannonballing regular enemies into big ones is very effective. Hold W, and difficult though. Bird. Oh shit, he's giving birth. think I'm about to die. Oh, no, we gotta heal.
Those leeches are filled with blood, ready to turn their familiars into
You're
ticks.
skipping Resident Evil 4 Remake? Why? You know, it's really hard to actually figure out where to look at my character anymore. He's got so much stuff hanging off him. He's actually becoming that meme of like, what if you have like a main character where all the guns they carry on them actually are shown on their body? This is what Doom Guy would kind of look like if he just had all this stuff jangling off him. Dog dies? It might not actually. People are wondering how that's gonna go. Because they showed a screenshot of it, it'll be a different... Maybe they've like expanded the original dog's role. Dog will now be a proper character. Yeah, that's a big leech. This is Souls-like? No. This is more like a God of War-like, actually. Actually, leeches that big would collapse under their own weight.
Not a living soul. She changed every last one of the workers here.
Am I getting there? You played the Doom Eternal DLCs, you already know what the Doom guy looks like. I'm talking about if he showed all the weapons on himself, like this guy does. Like, you see all this stuff, like, clung to his body? That's what Doom guy would look like walking around with a bunch of stuff clanking off him. Ghost hat. Gotta come around. I like this topsoil. Is it looking like an earthquake? What's the topsoil like shifted? Mythbusters tested and a guy in decent shape can carry all that gear. What they tested with though? I mean, with Doom Guy, you're packing a big ass rocket launcher, a minigun. Already, a minigun alone is like more than most people can carry. Then he's got like a plasma rifle, two shotguns, a sawed-off and a regular pump shotgun. Then he's got his pistol, then a BFG. I'm guessing that you could like substitute another big rocket launcher in there. I mean, you could carry it, but would you be effective in combat? Fist is, yeah, chainsaw too. But fist you get for free, you know. But I don't know. Depends on what weapons. I'd have to see the episode, but again, I wonder if you'd be able to be, a good combatant. What's the plot and say this game? In late 1800s, you're a part of a secret society of the U.S. that fights vampires. But we all got killed, and we're like the only one left, and we're here to like make sure the country doesn't fall to evil. It's very generic. It's kind of dumb, but it gets the point across. Scorcher can be used to burn through some of the obstacles blocking your way. Fuck my... For some reason my gun was shooting automatically there. Same cinematic universe as Red Dead. Yeah, this is going on at the same time.
These things are alive and pumping blood. Got a bad feeling about its source. Ooh, didn't expect that in this day.
Mythbuster in video only involves 80 pounds of equipment. Doom Guy, yeah, Doom Guy is carrying a lot more than 80 pounds on him. His balls probably weigh more than that. Power armor. Is it really power armor? It really just looks like it's I don't know how much the power, if it just looks like armor to me. Looks like he's just wearing like what looks like a plastic suit. If we're talking about classic Doom Guy. Maybe the new one, it's like, even it doesn't look like it's like enhancing him any. But we were talking about a person in reality carrying all their weapons around and what they look like, and it's not so much their ability, just like you would see all this stuff clanking around on someone. Leech money.
I found it, Father. The forest flourishes by feasting on its blood. It's exactly how you described it. Ancient, unique, pure. This is the missing element that'll accelerate the change. Combined with my blood, we can create a perfect progeny, bound with my will and ambition. Your life's work will be complete. They'll all see we were right to act now. If you can't change people, change the world and force them to adapt.
She sounds like a Borderlands character to a degree, but none of the funny, lol, random humor in her lines. She'd also in that note by like, make sure you like and subscribe to my space TikTok or something. That's how a Borderlands joke works, right? We got big combat arena coming up.
Wing it.
What's your favorite cologne? I actually don't. I rarely have ever put on cologne. Now, I've never been like a brand whore when it comes to it. Like if I had some and I wanted to like wear it to smell good that day, I'd put it on. I think is only brand I've ever used was Calvin Klein. I think. I'm not really a cologne guy. Like I put on deodorant, I feel like that's good enough. Axe body spray. That's not cologne though. That's just deodorant.
Locusts.
I don't know. Is cologne a would we consider cologne a boomer thing? Do like Zoomers use cologne? Again, this is just for fun. Don't pay attention to this boomer generational shit. It's all marketing anyways. But hey, it's fun to talk about sometimes. People still wear cologne. I've never really known people, at least the people I know, to really spend time putting on cologne.
The deeper into this forest, the more blood traces I see. That's never a good sign.
Burn these. Nope. Have you seen the Danny Gonzalez videos about the German scent influencer? I know, I have not. Never understood why it's called toilet water. What's called is toilet water called toilet water? Because that seems pretty understandable to me. Is deodorant and cologne the same thing? No, deodorant is what goes on your pits to make sure you don't like have BO. Cologne is just like the extra step you go on if you want to smell nice. Or like whatever scent you're going. It's basically perfume for men. We just give it a different name because we don't want to seem like we're gay. Like, I'm not wearing perfume, it's cologne. The toilet. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never heard it called toilet water before. So these leeches come here and drink the sap and then does something? Okay. It's a European thing? Alright, yeah, Europe has a lot of weird names. Maybe it's just meant to be ironically funny. Yeah, we call our good smelling stuff toilet water. Actually, perfume and cologne are just different concentrations that last differently. I mean, it's still just like there's a scented water you put on yourself to smell good. That's really all both of them do. We just when they wanted to market it to like modern men, like, we don't want to call it perfume. They won't buy it because they think that's for ladies. What do we call it, like cologne? It sounds French because it is French. And then they'll wear it. The toilet refers not to the crapper, but to the act of getting ready in the morning, brushing teeth. I don't know, French people are weird. Sorry, French people. I guess because you spend a lot of time in the bathroom, and I don't know. Word cologne is German. Well, okay, Mr. I'm gonna like show the streamer up and embarrass him. Hope you have a good day. Oh, hello.
Wash my blood!
Are these things yelling at me? Weapon-wise, you have a repeater, rifle, pistol, flamethrower. So, well, we have our gauntlet. We have, yeah, flamethrower, rifle, pistol, shotgun, and, yeah, our gauntlet to punch things. Two different gauntlets, actually. We have this one, and then we have the one on the other hand. That's a big fish. I'm not sure what that is, actually. America's a weird place. We have just monsters everywhere we don't know about.
Fucking great.
How is the bush catching the fire in the rain? Magic. Magic fire. It's actually, it is electrical fire. We use our electricity to fuel this flamethrower. What was this thing?
Doesn't look to be long dead. That's a hell of a tooth.
In case people missed if they weren't here, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, Nostrid. Oh, that's a boss fight arena.
I trip into its guts. Great.
Or maybe just a regular big fight arena, not boss. Okay, stop. I get it, you're angry. Man, there's a lot of like, a lot of yelling happening here. Oh well. You'd hate if a place like this existed with a bunch of giant leeches wandering. Yeah, that'd kind of suck, wouldn't it? Not a bad idea for a video game level, though. Inside the, like, rotting carcass of, like, a dragon or something.
Christ, what a stink.
We have cherry trees growing here? What the fuck? The leech mother. Get a ham into them. They did a lot of these are impressively disgusting looking. Pipe flamethrower, I'm going to. How do I avoid that? About to die, by the way. Rocks falling out of the tree. Well, shit. Acorns, oh. Yeah, no checkpoint, huh? close. Oh. They don't give me the weakness anymore. Whoops, not what I meant to do, but you know what? It seems like it worked. Making me shoot its tonsil stones. Thank you for the sub, by the way. It's combining everything into a horrible fucking combo now. He's on his last legs. Oh, fuck. Fuck him up. Oh, come on, pop your head down so I can wail on you for a minute. Oh, fuck. Pop this down just a bit too early. That really sucked, Chad. Wrong gun. Alright, that's stage 1. This is actually kind of a really tough fight in case you're wondering. You need those health drops. It's the worst time. How's it going here at Silent Hill Resident Evil Redemption 2 Ragnarok? That's a lot of games there. As you saw, melted. I guess this counts as our first boss fight, because it has a big on-screen health bar and stuff. That's what slows you down if it starts hitting you too, so you just start dying if it grabs you. Okay. Already going well. I don't know if you can actually destroy that easily before it gets you. Oh, no. Fucking, ew. That was disgusting. We might be here for a while, chat. I'm not doing so hot against this thing. It's got a lot of shit, alright? stick your penis in it? I was wondering when someone was gonna say that. All right. Here's where it all goes to shit, though. Start doing everything all at once now. Putting out your fucking eggs. I can't deal with that. Tentacle vampires? Well, leech vampires, but yes. Yeah, I've got him this time though. Eat it, you piece of shit.
So this is where those beasts get their magical blood from. Once that ancient fella in Baxter was sucked dry, she found you, huh? Christ, I'm starting to hate mythology.
Bet that smells good. Bring them on in. We'll feed for a week. All right. Cool.
Cash.
This is one hell of a nice, like, Western bar. We got like a fully staffed kitchen, making big ass cabbages and pie. Or bread. You're gonna need at least 20 more. Yeah, considering the size of that thing, I don't think one's gonna be enough. Can you steal things like an Elder Scrolls? No, just like, here's some money for you to collect it.
Is it true what I heard?
that you broke that glamour and ripped that place a new asshole?
Wait, I thought this was like secret information. Why does the bartender know? And he's like saying it right next to like the working ladies. How much money do I have? I think I got like, well, let me go into my, I've got $6,700. So yeah, for this time period, that's a pretty decent chunk. Still only buys me like one upgrade though. You want her green dress? I don't know if it really worked that well in this time period. I mean, our current modern time period. She just isn't wearing a dress. Well, I could see her legs. Maybe she like tucked it around behind her so she could sit down at the piano. Equivalent to 2,934,000. Really? This is only like late 1800s. I don't know if it counts to like almost $3 million. That feels a bit off. I don't think that's quite as much as it. The inflation didn't go up that much. Sounds about right. I feel like $6,000 would only be like a few hundred, maybe like in the tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars or more. Like being worth like 3 million, I don't know.
Dr. Blackwell is waiting for you in the suite.
Sources your butt. See, Chad, I told you my intuition was right. And you guys were like, no, that sounds right. He sounds trustworthy. 'Cause I've seen figures of like things estimated cost after inflation from this time period before, and they were never like that much. Like the girl in Mean Girls who says her boobs can tell her when it's gonna rain. What?
I'm skeptical.
Never saw that movie, but is that a thing boobs can do? I always hear like old people say their joints can do that. They get sore when it's gonna rain or snow.
Anybody ever heard of
I like the idea of using breasts as like a water divining rod. Use like, hey, babe, go there and find me a new well I can dig.
That's a Mikanak. In Huron Indian folklore, it's some kind of minor deity.
It was covered head to toe in those damn leeches.
That means we found yet another blood factory set up by Debano and Felicity.
That would explain why they attacked Baxter. They were protecting their source, the ancient blood they used to transform their familiars.
Bad news is this Mikanak thing was supplying their war for quite some time now, allowing those foul bloods to spread all over the country. The good news is, it won't do it anymore.
Help! Dr. Blackwell, somebody!
They're natural boils? Well, I'm glad they're natural. Not that fake is wrong is bad either. Wait, we're talking about breasts, right? I'm not sure. 6,000 in 1880 would be 187,000. That seems more like what I was thinking in line it would be. People mad RC doesn't have giant gazongas in the new trans... People are what? Inflation didn't really take off until we left the gold standard. We didn't really lead the gold standard until like what, 19 is Nixon, under Nixon, right? No, there's definitely a lot of inflation before then, because I remember reading stories about things costing like someone taking like getting 5 cents from their father, and that's like a day out for them. Or like you can spend that in multiple places. Or maybe like a dime or something. So there's definitely inflation. Yeah, it happened before, but I'm not sure how much it would be starting in like the 1970s though, or 60s, whenever it was. Looking at a chart, inflation shoots off. Well, yeah, a little. I'm definitely gonna say it goes up more at that point because that's when they start, borrowing more. RI internal bulletin. The end of 1873 marks the establishment of yet another RI outpost. Town of Calico, Colorado, joins our ranks of the 6th cell in the Mountain West. Newly founded outpost patches a large hole in the Institute's security structure. Despite its small size, we hope it should be self-sufficient by the end of next quarter. Director William Rentier appointed Dr. Amelia Blackwell as the sales leader. You're not wrong, but that's more the value of those items and the value of money itself to a degree. I mean, gold standard was pretty good, I think, at keeping, you know, prices, I guess, for what things are. I'm not really that well versed on economics, just so everyone knows. Not one of my areas I can like, speak definitively on anything. But gold standard had its problems too.
Mr. Jesse! Help!
Why is everything becoming expensive? Because inflation, also other there's like a big war going on in Europe and an energy crisis. Those things kind of all work together like, yep, the price is going to go up.
I heard shouts, sir. What's going on in the...
Let it. It's getting remembered. Mind, yeah. You love those? You like old-timey dresses? I mean, I guess they got a place. They always look like they take forever to put on, though. Also, tiny little hat. What does Incel Dartigan have to say about inflation? I don't know. He's only caring about women and them being whores. Because they won't sleep with him. That's what Incel Dartigan cares about. He doesn't care about the economic forces. Other than, like, the cost of someone's OnlyFans page. Do a lot of period-based acting work. Corsets do take a bit. They can be uncomfortable, too.
Step aside.
Not that I would know for wearing one. I've just heard people tell me about it.
Even if he doesn't kill us in our sleep, that link in his head will lead the ticks right to us.
Then let them come. Killing ticks is what the Rentier Institute does.
You listen to yourself? This isn't about your birthright. This is what happens when we run a government agency like a goddamn monarchy. All our protocols go out the window as soon as Daddy Dearest.
Keep talking to me about the rules, you bureaucratic shrew.
Please, we're all on the same team, remember?
Only when it suits him. How about finally telling me where Edgar went?
He's in Maurepas, searching for the plant to make the regen compound.
The regen compound? Now you're wasting what little resources we have left chasing a fairy tale?
Listen, Mr. Gravener's an experienced agent. If he didn't have faith in his mission, he wouldn't bother. We are at war, Doctor. Who else is worth saving, if not the leader of the Institute?
Lucky's a millionaire? What?
And
I'm actually spoiled as fuck. I have about 1 BR, about 1,500 below median rent, with a balcony and a parking in a pretty cool neighborhood. It does sound pretty nice.
In the meantime, your father will be restrained and placed under round-the-clock supervision.
Fine. I'm gonna get Edgar's ass out of those swamps. And if I get back with that plant and I still see that
Bedroom,
shotgun...
well, I mean, I actually have a better deal than you.
Well prove you know
I
how to use
have a 2-bedroom apartment, 1,500 square feet, and it only cost me $450 a month. And it also my water bill, sewage, and is covered in that rent.
Why'd you back Jesse's quest for this ridiculous compound?
Just
It just means I live in a
scientists at
small
the manor
town.
didn't find anything doesn't mean there isn't something there. I mean, did they ever let you take a look?
No.
We have a habit at Calico of making the impossible happen, Doctor. I fixed Mr. Jesse's gauntlet.
$450, yeah, it's kind of a steal.
Scott found the best lead we have with those.
I mean, my
leases.
kitchen and living room are actually
Anyone can
gigantic.
make that compound work.
Hope sewage is covered? Well, yeah, that's covered. I mean, it's a septic tank, so it's not really a sewage. It's like all it goes into a septic tank, but she pays to have it, like, you know, pumped out when it gets full. But yeah, my water is covered. I technically get free garbage too because my neighbor, you know, just lets me put my garbage in. They're a big freaking garbage, what do you thing? What it's like the big metal ones, not a garbage, whatever, garbage, yeah, free garbage. So yeah, there's that too. Pay 10 times that amount and probably for a smaller place too, right? Hey. When I left grad school, I had a similar situation for like $840 a month with some nice folks. But yeah, $450 a month, it ain't too bad. Been a good landlord too. She fixes stuff as soon as it breaks. She's never raised rent on me even once. And doesn't even like come around. The only time I ever hear about her is when I need to like call to get like a pipe fix, like after it like bursts during the cold spell. You know?
Those are Edgar's. Must have found that plant here.
Sounds like a dream. Yeah, I've definitely heard nightmare stories so about landlords.
I'm taking it.
Where are we? Is this supposed to be this game's idea of Louisiana? Glow in the dark swamps. You know, America in this game feels like Mordor. Am I wrong on that? Like, America, are they sending a message?
The trail leads this way. Christ, wish I had a map of this place.
You don't have a map of any level you're in, buddy. So I can level up, though. What do you want? Right, finish forming the zapper. Finish produce a spike of electricity, dropping an energy pickup. The finish the enemy of the zapper, perform either dash or pull. I'm not really liking many of these upgrades, to be honest with you. Rifle damage is increased by 20%. That one, maybe. Hey Dartigan, chat, how's the game? Well, so far, I'm still pretty positive on it. It's simple, but it works. I like to think of this as like an old school PS2 game, but given like, modern graphics. What? Fuck you guys. In grad school, I had a room for $550 with a kitchen and bath, but it was a dude's hole. It had no insulation, heater was cast iron furnace, there were spiders and lost floorboards everywhere. It was at the top of a hill, but that's kind of, I mean, yeah, that sounds actually kind of shitty. That's barely livable. No, mine's just a regular place. But also, thank you for the 100 bits, Sam, my god, is it? Hopefully you didn't have to live there for very long. Happy New Year. What's up, Mike?
Money.
Money. This guy, I love capitalism.
That's useful.
I like this very muted soundtrack. This level, just like one dude at a piano. Only 2 years. I went home for 6 months for COVID, and the landlord or my stockpile of they used your stockpile of emergency food. Man, that's a really shitty landlord too.
Something broke the boat, but it looks like you managed to escape.
New gun? Wow, we don't have it.
Been in a hurry if he dropped his damn crossbow. I'm sure Edgar wouldn't mind if I took advantage of this.
One of the more exotic, precise weapons, surprisingly stylish, but rarely used across the RI. It's been engineered to shoot both single shots and continuous fire. Whip with the 1 button. Well, sniping isn't really a thing in this game because you can't shoot people until you like jump into the arena. How many more fucking... I don't know. We don't got much room for many more. My back is nothing but gun. I should like clank when I walk. Oh, this is my machine. This is actually my machine gun. So is humanity on the verge of extinction or some shit? No. We're just like... Well, I suppose that's what the vampires want to do, is they want to go to war with us. So they're making all these, like, foul-blooded monsters to attack us. So maybe if we fuck up... But not at this point in time, they're not. They're actually just don't even know this is going on. Been paying more remnant from the ashes, like the game got some jank, but overall good. Well, I guess you're looking forward to the sequel then, aren't you? You should not be able to walk as you are overburdened. Well, I'm a strong, manly man. Have you seen my stubble? That is a sign of a man who can walk under any weight. Even the world. Like budget Van Helsing game. Well, they thankfully didn't actually call this guy Vaughn or Helsing. I need to head to bed. Got work. Hey, Jim, have a good day at work, man. Thanks for being here tonight. Sleep time, my man. Still waiting for a Van Helsing game where Van Helsing has the silly accent for the book. What was his accent in the book? It's been a long time since I read Bram Stoker.
Nothing alive here except those freaks.
You go by the hanging guy, you'll find Logan Paul. I gotcha. Didn't he recently get in trouble for like a NFT scam or something? I've heard like people talking about it. He had a German, well, Van Helsing, I guess that would be a... Wait, you find German accents funny? Actually just bought Bram Stoker's Dracula for Halloween recently. Good book. It's alright. It's got that classic journal style, which I'm not too into. He has a thick Dutch accent and speech patterns. He also spends the entire page laughing about a threesome joke with that while at a funeral. That can't be. They didn't even invent threesomes in the 1800s. I say that as I know by the French in the Ménage à Trois. Yep. Dutch is a tough accent to do. I had it once for an audition. Totally flawless. Were you auditioning for Van Helsing? Threesome back there, I'd probably get a syphilis or a shotgun to the gut. Damn. I mean, the syphilis thing definitely, but a shotgun? What's causing the red glow here, by the way? Where's the light coming from? I don't see a light source. That one is true. Lucy's fiance says that blood transfusion are intimate and saved her life. Like making out, Van Helsing falls over laughing because every dude in the story gave Lucy blood. Well, yeah, that would be pretty funny. I didn't realize Van Helsing was such a dirty old man. Also, I don't think they understood how blood transfusion works. They couldn't all give her blood because unless they all had like the right type, right? So they probably actually would have killed her.
More money.
Also, speaking of Dracula, how many of you have seen the Leslie Nielsen movie, you know, Dracula Dead and Loving It? I think it's one of his less appreciated movies. Yeah, you love that stupid. Well, all of his movies tend to. Well, actually, Leslie Nielsen used to be a serious actor until he started doing comedy.
Just burn it.
Almost hilarious. I didn't get it. I was like really into, after like watching the Naked Gun movies as a kid, I was really into anything Leslie Nielsen did. But being poor, I didn't get to go to the theaters to see stuff, so I had to like wait until I could catch it on TV. So I remember like it was years after I like wanted to see it that I finally got to see that movie. It's like, all right, finally. He also had a really good parody movie of shit, what was it? It's like he's on the run from like federal agents or something. Shit, can they get the name of it? The movie Harrison Ford starred and he parodied that.
This whole place smells like death.
Good line, by the way.
Okay.
The Fugitive, yeah, I think that's it. It's the one where he like jumps off a dam, a famous scene at one point.
Jesus. Who the hell would want to set up camp here?
Though I forget the name of the parody movie of it.
Smash it.
Wrongfully accused, you might be right. What we got over there? More that Lucy's fiance Arthur Holmwood said that since he gave her blood that to him made him them married. Van Helsing says the Seward and Private that since he, Seward, and Quincy Morris all gave her blood, Lucy they're all guilty of adultery. It's like that guy was just like trying desperately to get wet. They're like, yeah, I gave you my blood, that means we're married now. Like, not quite here. What happens if you breathe in this swamp gas? You have enough bucks. What though? And fire it. That's not really a very good upgrade. Have any perks I can buy? Tico, we already got that. Dodging sideways or backwards to avoid that. I don't even, is that a new dodge? To avoid enemy attacks. Does not interrupt the melee combo and increases the area of effect of the next punch. Sure. Sorry, I'm just having fun and wave dashing around. Oh, I guess we're getting another arachnophobia section, huh?
I hate spiders.
Well, you can always go into options and turn it off. Can't even kill him with fire, chat.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't think I'd stick around here either. How many of you have seen that old movie? Well, it's not really old. I think it's like from the 80s or 90s called Arachnophobia. Had some scenes like this. It was like one of the dumbest horror movies ever because the big villain was just a spider. This is a venomous spider that you know, seems like it's pretty easy to get away from, but it just can't work it. Just for some reason, everyone kept getting killed by it. That movie, the Arachnophobia, gave you arachnophobia? Spider. I like spiders, actually. Have you seen pictures of Australia during spider season? If you haven't, it's basically this. What I've seen images of spider webs covering up entire forests before. Yes. I was like, that's the way I gotta go. Anyone remember Eight-Legged Freaks? I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever saw it. I've seen, but since I have actual arachnophobia, I can't watch. What's this doing for you, though? Do you prefer spiders or rats? I'll take spiders any day over rats. I don't have a fear of rats, but rats are just, like, way more dangerous, too, I feel. Like, they can carry disease. Like, spiders are just, like, super clean, and they mind their own business, generally. There's a few aggressive types out there. Whereas rats, they'll get into your food, mess up your crops, spread the plague. Not even comparable.
Twisted and covered with thorns. It grows only in the marshlands. They're teeth marks. Oh, it's sucked dry. Why? Some desperate soul looking for a cure? It's of no use to me now.
Spiders probably will eat you alive too. There's that as well. Doesn't bother me as much as long as they don't get bigger.
That eight-legged freak was hunting him down.
Well, it sounds like they might be getting bigger. Did you ever hear about the massive rat infestation in Australia? Yeah, that seems like it happens every couple decades. I've seen videos of just like what looks like swarms of rats.
Scorched. Guess this is that giant arachnid's lair.
Nope. Check this way first. Oh, we can't.
He's not wrapped up like a mummy in a web. Guess he got away.
That's not quite a spider. It's just a thing wearing a spider. Made anime mode on his ass. Spiders and werewolves working together. What madness is this? You take this over a plague still? I need to save the special mode when the werewolves come out.
God damn it, that hurt. Hell yeah. Burn, you bastards!
Did the spider jump off it? I think the spider jumped off it.
Jesus!
You're in like all up in my grill here, please. Upgrade points? We're getting a lot now, huh? Let's see. Great finish. Perform the zapper moves. Thanks to more efficient power module, the crippling rod. I keep forgetting to use our crippling rod actually. Now lasts 20% longer. That could be good for stunning a lot of enemies. Not enough though. This is why people use spears. You don't have to get close to the spider werewolf. I would want something a bit longer range of a spear for a spider werewolf.
I'll take that.
All right, let's stick to the facts. Bloom research vampire.
But that's a weird cut off to the level. Just here's a boat.
Some sort of plan. One that could allegedly reverse the process of the change. It's considered an affront to the purity of their royal blood.
Ominous. But can it work? From a biological point of view?
Now and then, some of those legends contain a grain of truth. An endemic species like this may have peculiar properties. If researched properly, some cell mutations, I don't know.
Imagine how many people we could
I
save.
plan on seeing the
if
Dead Space
you
remake?
made
Yes.
it work.
And the new Harry
Not
Potter
a
game as well.
miracle worker,
Both of them.
Virgil, but I'll give it my best shot.
Thermicon? Let me catch up with the chat. I do a lot of fighting and not so much reading. You have dance class, see you later. Chippy, have a good night, man. I mean, good day, I guess. Can't wait for your Harry Potter one. It should be pretty good. I mean, I feel like it'll give me a lot of meat to work with. Harry Potter is a pretty stupid universe. So I finally get to do a video on that. Please be good, Harry Potter game. So far, it looks like it's at least pretty competent. How was this game? You know what? This game is also pretty decent. It's not wowing me, but hey, it's keeping me entertained. Gah. Sorry, chat. Had a sleepy guy yawn for a second. I needed a stretch too. Oh shit. For some reason my screen went black there for a second. That wasn't terrifying. But my computer just crashed. You're not going to approve, but I'm about to roleplay Last of Us 2. Which character? I mean, why would I not approve? I hope you do a good job.
Gosh.
Make sure you if you want, share your pics of your cosplay on the Discord even. Impress your friends. Guard is the mine in the gutter. What? Based on what? Said roleplay. Oh. Oh, replay. My brain saw the word cosplay. So you're just, you know, fine. I mean, I'm not gonna care if you're gonna replay Last of Us 2 either. Same thing. Like, hey, like, what you want to play? But hey, replay it. Yeah, if you like the game, play it. I'm not gonna stop you.
Almost got killed to keep that plant safe, but kept on going. That's true grit.
Sometimes you worry about. Why would you worry about that? I'm playing a video game, talking to people, reading chat all at once. Of course I'm gonna make mistakes. I think I've got a pretty solid alibi and excuse. Like sometimes I will read things wrong. Because one, I'm also trying to read very quickly, so I can play the, and also by darting my eyes left, reading reading a random chat in like the blink of an eye, then going back to the game. Crocodiles? Oh no, I thought they were crocodiles for a second. No, they're exploding boys.
Shit!
Well, shit, indeed. Looks like an R99 from Apex on your back. We have a lot of stuff on our back. It's hard to figure out what all of it is when you're just looking at it. But we got a flamethrower, a crossbow, a shotgun. We got a pistol on our hip. Big ass fucking gun. We are weighed down. Well, that's a lot of shit. I think I'm about to die, chat. Yep. Lost too much health.
That was painful!
Ow! Fuck off. This game been difficult? It just has every once in a while you get like a difficult moment. Overall, the game is pretty, you know, alright. Manageable. Only every once in a while you get like a tough spot. Especially now that I have more weapons, I have more options.
You both used to be thick as thieves.
Use this blade to live your destiny and end the destiny of our enemies. Best, William. Our platinum's over though. I hope Platinum doesn't become like a shitty developer, because they've had a rough... 2022 seemed like a rough year for them. Does this game have a story, or is it more like a Western slang? It is definitely... That is the story. It has a plot. It's pretty dumb, but it is there. But yeah, you're a part of a secret society. It kills off... You know, we work for the government, but we're out here to kill vampires and keep America safe. This is the America West, if it was also Mordor. Dartigan, the one day I haven't passed out by 10. Yay, really? Are you alright? You say passed out, you just mean fell asleep, right? Oof, wow. That went right up his, like, man skirt. Looked warm, too.
Ooh, didn't expect that in this damn jungle.
Yeah, ancient, like, you know, what, I don't know. Ancient ruins here in the Louisiana. Fell asleep? Well, I guess, are you like lying down while you're watching the stream? That might be the reason. Is that normally how that works? Beware of toxic fumes, navigate across the floating planks. Let me check back this way.
Did you break this damn bridge, Edgar? Ah, now I need to find another way.
You know, I like that they couldn't even be bothered to actually put footprints on the ground. They just paint like white outlines. Like, you know what, that'll work. Don't actually like, you know, draw footprints there. Could be Texas. This is Texas, huh?
That doesn't look healthy. Better run quick before it sinks.
Could be, could be. I mean, you know, where else would America Mordor be?
Okay.
I'm sleeping earlier since I'm off from college till late this month. Oh, nice, dude. You finally get to relax for a month. What's this thing the U.S. has? There ruins like this or weird Native American city? Yeah, mountain. They're not really. The Native Americans didn't really work with stone very much, so. But the only lasting structure they built were some like earth mounds.
I'm taking it.
But we've already come across an upside down pyramid underground in this game too, so keep that in mind. America's a bit, you know, different here. I guess there are like those cliffs, that cliff city in the American desert as well, where some Native Americans lived. Well, there's like a cliff village, I guess. So there is that too. Did they ever like? Isn't that like a mystery? They don't know what the name of the tribe was that made it, or something like that. But yeah, nothing like this. This is like a little out there. Must be a Mormon lore of America. You know what? That might make for actually a good video game if you really want to, like, yo, the Mormons. I think they might get offended though.
More money.
Hold on. This can't be just swamp water if it's literally poisonous, by the way.
I can make it.
Would you drink swamp water? No, would you? Hey, would you drink this, like, obviously, like, clean water full of, like, bacteria and amoebas that'll eat your brain? You know, there is water that if you get it up your nose that can, like, get you infected with a brain-eating amoeba. It's like a nightmare, too. It's such a shame that the Spanish completely burned down oh, you mean what is now Mexico City? Would it be such a cool place to visit there? It definitely was supposedly, like, apparently, like, the Spaniards said it was, like, the most marvelous place I'd ever seen, right?
Out of my way.
Have some diet cholera. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Spicy water.
That's useful.
Drinking spicy water right now? Oh, well, I didn't mean as an actual hot water. I just meant as, like, gross water. When does Will Smith appear in this game? We go into the Wild Wild. If only that ever got a proper video game and not like a shitty one. Going straight to the Wild Wild West. We going straight to the Wild Wild. That movie was totally shit, but that song was stuck in my head for a while. That was like the biggest flop of his career at that time, wasn't it? Like, Will Smith, you turned down The Matrix to do this. You alright, man? You alright? And now we have After Earth. Well, you say actually hasn't really had. What was the last really good Will Smith movie? Was it the one where he's like about cancer vampires or something? Producer for Wild Wild West wanted to put a giant robot spider in that 90s Superman script from Kevin Smith. He didn't get to do it then, but no one was there to, like, calm him down then, huh? On his new movie. Independence Day? Okay, he's had decent movies since Independence Day. That was just like his first big movie.
Can't make it without a rope.
Indicates a good place to create a zip line with your bow. Find a rope first. Find a rope. Oh, Thank you for pointing out now. All hell Rip Tracks, you watching them right now? You got their Twitch channel open as well.
This could come in handy.
It isn't quite the same though, since they don't use like the puppets from Mystery Science Theater.
I hope I don't bring this thing down on top of me.
Considering how much weight you're carrying, you got more body weight in guns than you have yourself. It actually is impressive that it held you up. Waiting for the next cell to pick up some riffs. I mean, you really, I don't know if you probably know it, but Riff Tracks actually has a 24/7 always running stream of all their content. Maybe I guess their older content here on Twitch.
Feels good.
I mean, obviously you can't select what you want to watch, so maybe that's what you're looking for instead. Not any of the big movies are Riff. Well, yeah, I guess that, you know, they have to keep this stuff that's in public domain, otherwise they probably get their channel like, hey, you can't display our movies like that.
Oh, that's tight.
Did they lose the rights to the name Mystery Science Theater? Is that what they had to call it, Riff Tracks? I remember when they're like, well, that's a very big moon. When they first came out, you had to like buy the track and you had to play it over your own copy of the movie. Do you still have to do that?
On the money.
Yeah, that seems a little cumbersome actually.
More footprints. They lead to that church over there.
A union rule? I'm imagining Riff Tracks is a new media online podcast, and MST3K is a SAG union only. Was that really union? I thought there was like public access TV when it first started. I knew they were gonna start throwing two of the big guys at me at once eventually. This ain't gonna be easy. Whoa. So if we do it like that, it may be a little bit easier. No, you don't get a fucking kill. No, I was doing good. Fucking leeches came out too. get back our rifle.
Let's end this!
Fuck off, you fucking. Oh, these fucking leech things are the worst. Alright, come on out.
Oh, smells like barbecue!
Oh, this stuff won't stop showing up here. Oof. Did you just slap a magazine into a windshield? Did I? Yeah, he does. He slaps a magazine into it. I didn't notice that until now. That's a bit incorrect. But then again, we use electricity to make our flamethrower shoot, fire out of it too. Oh, was the idea I was supposed to be like running back here during that fight instead of fighting them all out there? Because I didn't. Gun heresy. Well, we have an electric pistol too if you want to like be bitchy over that. Look at the menu, maybe there's a magazine well. I don't know if it shows it. I mean, it's got the got a regular like area you'd put them in, but I don't think it's a magazine, no. Just like the regular slot where you load them. Gun heresy. Gun heresy. I'm just saying, you know what? Considering how in love a lot of European developers are with Warhammer games, I wouldn't be surprised if it inspired this a little bit. Because look at my character. I look like a fucking Inquisitor. The Xeno, the heretic, all will be purged.
I'll take that.
he suddenly get some religion?
Her friend gonna be dead.
Money doesn't look inviting, but let's say I trust you, Edgar.
Look like a Christian church. Have you seen the memes of Henry Cavill killing the writing team for the Warhammer show if they go outside the source? I have not, but I have seen people already like photoshopping him into like Inquisitor robes and other stuff for like a Warhammer Space Marine outfit, since he has he's like one of the few actors who could pull off the look.
More money.
He's like the executive producer, so he has a lot more say over than, say, like The Witcher, doesn't he?
Just burn it.
Did they announce who's going to be the new Superman? I mean, I don't know. Who could you cast as Superman that's not Henry Cavill at this point?
Edgar, I'm starting to doubt your navigational abilities.
Some white guy? You say that, but you know the times we're living in. That's not necessarily locked in. Do we need... Superman's boring as fuck. No, we don't. But if you're gonna make DC comic book movies, you do kind of need him there.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Bees. 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 Like, they seem very friendly though. Bees.
I'll take that.
I guess my flamethrower would be useful here. Welcome to the Bee Aztec Temple in Louisiana. It's weird seeing someone like Henry Cavill being obsessed with the lore of Witcher. He's like a big ass fucking nerd though. It's been very well. I mean, he wasn't lying when he said he's a big nerd. He loves video games and he likes Warhammer. He paints the miniatures. He makes his own PCs. Yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't started a Twitch channel yet.
I'm stuck in here. Find a way. Move those damn blocks. Whatever you gotta do.
How did you get stuck over there if you didn't drain it first like I had to? Place custodian. Those are super space marines or something, right? Like the Emperor's bodyguard or something. Ew, we got a slotting puzzle. Just at first glance, you'd expect him to bully people who obsess over... Well, that's one. Obviously not true. I mean, I don't think that's... Well, obviously there have been people who've done that, but clearly he's one of the good ones. He's here to show you that nerds can be the sexiest fucking man out there in the world right now. Apparently. Alright, let's pull this, what has to be 20 tons of stone.
There we go. God, it's heavy. Just
You just need this. A lot of nerds are handsy. Yeah, it's a stereotype that nerds are just like, yeah, antisocial, like can't do anything, like don't look good. Never been true.
Should work now.
That was not much of a puzzle, to be honest. They gave you plenty of pieces. Alright, I mean, I'm not gonna complain, but hey. Like how they put the chain there, even though this is not just a door. What wasn't necessary. Nerds can look like anything. Hell Dart looks like a supervillain, mostly due to his chin. Well, thank you. I think. Never been described as a supervillain before, but you know what? Some of those are really good looking.
Edgar? Just behind you!
Ow. Nope. 5. Oh wait, destroy the nest. They're healing it. Oh wait, shot a bee man out. You stop.
Much better.
Oh, God, you were annoying. Death incoming, yeah. Where did dodge it when he shoots like a massive wave of them out? We gotta dodge under them. Can you reload that fucking magazine a bit quicker, my man? Thank you. Death coming again soon, by the way. Fucking no! I can't deal with something like a single enemy when I'm getting shot with a spread cannon with bees. It's a little difficult game, just so you know. Run. Okay, did good. Revisit the lore menu. Check back on tutorials. No, I beat a game. You don't need to give me that bitch message. Like, are you struggling after I won?
Thanks for the hand, but I had it under control.
Can
Clearly.
tell.
I found the plan. The locals call it La Orchid de la Vida or something foreign like that. We get this back to Calico, squeeze it out, and maybe we have ourselves a way to turn this around.
I'm sorry I got you into this.
He's got plans. Exactly.
Getting your ass out
It's
of
my
the
favorite
fire has
40k
kinda become a
faction.
habit.
I kind of like the
Edgar, you
orcs
can't
because I
keep
like the
doing
idea
this
that they
forever.
just make things
Those
work by
ticks
believing
attack
it'll
the
work.
manor. What did your father
Like a
do?
weird psychic power they all have.
Nah. He kept on squeezing the trigger. That's what he did.
I like that they're just
Like
too
us
dumb
don't
to actually
retire
die, but
just
also ever win.
Even if you're lucky enough to live long enough, you'll soon realize there's nothing waiting for you. There is no normal for people like me or your father. And I was naive to think there might be some normal for you. Anyway, now that just about everyone else in the Institute is dead, I figure you and your daddy are gonna need all the help you can get to build
So
things
goofy
back
for a
up
universe
again.
like, didn't they like
Well,
basically
first
make
you give me
40k
those
out of their
pretty
Warhammer
flowers,
Fantasy stuff so you could
then
just
get all
reuse your miniatures?
emotional on me.
They had to come up with a way where the orcs would work.
Edgar, you ain't gonna try to kiss me now, are you?
You little shit.
They also recently introduced a new faction, like a dwarves, right? Like they brought dwarves into it this year. What is his voice acting? Manager. That's what it is.
God damn it. Harrow's here.
Feel insulted? Yeah, it always kind of feels. Oh, always kind of feels insulting.
You backstabbing witch! You ratted us out!
Dr. Blackwell. I know we've had our differences, but this...
For your information, I had nothing to do with Mr. Harrow's sudden appearance on our doorstep. But thank you for confirming how little faith you have in me. Now, I don't presume to know how things work for you, gentlemen. But I can assure you that Calico wasn't built on broken words and betrayed confidences. Women in my position don't have that privilege. Now, I assume you have the plant?
We do.
Good. And there are clean syringes and alcohol swabs in the lab.
Dwarves are previously called squats,
5 minutes
but
is
they
all
brought
we
them
need.
back after abandoning them for years. So I didn't know they used to be in it. Were they an actual playable faction? But they're essentially, yeah, they're space dwarves. They're like former humans that have like evolved into like, you know, shorter humans that are tough.
Care for a drink, sir? Well, with Harrow.
How do they play, by the way? I mean, what's their unique thing?
Kind of deserted around. I was worried, Gravener.
Are they like the dwarves in Deep Rock Galactic? I'm assuming maybe. They now invade other planets, including human ones, and strip mine the entire planet, huh? So what do they do with the people living there? Well, it's 40k. I think I assume what happens to them. You just, like, kill them. Even when you're, like, not one of, like, the Chaos Races, you still just kill everything that isn't you.
Mr. Gravener's looking for you, sir.
You know that Robin Williams is a huge Warhammer 40k fan? I did not.
I'm taking it.
Want to play the Space Marine game? Yeah, you can play the original one if you want as well. If you can get it to work. I couldn't get it to work on my PC, but maybe I can with my new GPU. Who knows?
Come on, William. I've seen you survive worse.
You want to look for a vein first?
How are you feeling?
Effects are that immediate, huh?
Someone's squeezing my brain. There's some thoughts in here that aren't mine. Oh, I see her, Jesse. Oh, no! You must stop her before... Wait. I see Sai. Dickinson. She's in Dickinson.
I can see you. Where are you? Jesse? Or have all the nasty little rats scampered off to? Oh, come on, William. Invite me in, don't be shy.
Holy shit! That was her! They're linked.
I need to get to Dickinson. Tough old
What the
bastard. He's
stuff was
turning it around on
unlinkable?
her.
It's gonna be a hard sell to Harrow.
Gotta try. You keep an eye on him. And keep your hands
These
off
edibles
that
ain't
switch.
shit. Well, they did inject him with something. Maybe it's just really good drugs. Meet James Harrow in the executive suite.
Sir, Mr. Harrow is waiting in the briefing room. He's, well...
Did you really think it was...
The creepy girl yet explain yet? Not yet. She's still a mystery.
Assistant Secretary Harrow, sir.
Agent Rentier. Dr. Blackwell brought me up to speed on your father.
Damn that nose on that guy.
It couldn't have been easy. His shadow will loom large over us all. Please accept my condolences on behalf of a grieving nation. And try not to wallow in grief. It only leads to blunder. And this country desperately needs success.
Aside from the news of your father's tragic demise, I've also briefed the Assistant Secretary on the successful destruction of Felicity's leech factory in McCallum Sawmill.
That and a penny will buy me a cup of warm piss, Doctor. No one is safe while that crazy she-beast and her army of freaks are on the loose. And do you have any idea where she is? No.
Actually, I do, sir. We have intel that she's currently in Dickinson.
What intel?
Can't say, but it's 100% solid.
Great. You can head for Dickinson after you get back from Kingston.
Kingston?
There's a case containing some very sensitive information there that I need picked up.
But sir, the Dickinson lead. There's at least 3 interstate railroads there. It might be a part of Felicity's transport.
Very well. You there. What's your name?
Only? Virgil? Only?
Do you know your way to Kingston, only Virgil?
With all due respect, Mr. Assistant Secretary, Virgil is our top engineer. He is not fit for field action.
I don't give a watery shit about his curriculum fucking vitae, Doctor. I'm funding this circus of yours, and I want those papers
Actually, it'd be the
back.
taxpayers, not you.
I'll get them for you. What do I need to know?
What a great cutscene that was.
We recently got our hands on a partial list of companies tied to the Andalusia Financial Services Group, like McCallum's Mill and the Kingston oil fields. Debano indeed.
That's what an oil field looks like, huh?
Brat are up to their assholes in illegal acquisitions, and the government intends to seize their not insubstantial portfolio.
This is why the lack of racism in this period piece. Well, they just made them swear more.
Already. I even sent in the blasted National Guard.
When you got vampires to deal with, maybe you don't really care so much about race.
Guarded. That's where you come in.
So what exactly am I looking for?
Based on the final telegram from my forensic accountant, Andalusia's portfolio of holdings is stashed in a
Do they normally work out of a sea of oil?
Still at the Kingston Oil Fields Bureau on the far side of the lake.
I still don't get why it's more urgent than looking for Felicity and Dickinson.
Wars cost money, Rentier. And unless you've forgotten the incident at your former headquarters, we are at war. This could very well turn the tides in our favor.
Yeah, this is just now we're in Texas.
Let's get this over with.
And where it's apparently you have just lakes of crude oil that we just like pump onto the ground for some reason. However, I think that's enough of this game for tonight. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good stopping point. We did a lot of progress. So Chad, what'd you think? Did you enjoy? For some reason, I am extremely sleepy. Can hop in the bath. Everyone's getting like comfortable. Also, Chad, I probably won't be streaming tomorrow, as I'll be making sure I'll be basically focusing on video editing. So it's very unlikely I'll be streaming. Just to let you know, so you don't waste your time like waiting on the page. Maybe you can go on those plans you had. You don't have to like cancel them. Well, I've lost my voice too. Need to hydrate. But Chad, you've all been great tonight. Thank you for being here, by the way. Also, thank you for any bit subs or gift subs as well. And thank you to the mod team. Thanks for all the chill people in chat. It is my pleasure to have you. Yeah, my kings and queens out there tonight. Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, I probably won't be streaming tomorrow, but I'll be back, I'm assuming the next day afterward. Can't really tell you. It depends on how much, you know, I would like to finish editing the video tomorrow if I can. At least principal editing. So that comes first. But you guys will get a video soon, so thank you. Hopefully you'll enjoy that. And then, you know, we'll be coming back and finishing this game and maybe streaming something else. We'll see what it is. But for tonight, thank you guys for showing up. And I hope you have a great night or day, whatever your time zone is. And I will see you soon. Later, chat. Peace.